Hi, I'm doing this video for Demi Lovato. Hi everyone, my name is Molly Henry. I live in Toledo, Ohio. And I want to do this video praying that you'd be willing to meet me. I'm one of your biggest fans. I know you probably use it a lot, but you really are. I've watched everything you've done, from the sketches on Disney Channel you used to do, to your singing, to Camp Rock, to you coming out with your cutting and bipolar disorder. Everything I've watched you do. I follow you on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I follow you on Google Plus also. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about me and how you've inspired me in so many ways. So when I was a baby, I got diagnosed with cerebral palsy, which means that I have a hard time moving and doing things on my own. And then when I was 2, I got taken away from my birth parents because they did drugs. And I got adopted when I was 5. Soon after I got adopted, my mom completely changed. Her demeanor with me just completely changed. And I couldn't understand why. And it wasn't until I got older that, it was no longer spankings, it was beatings. And she just, I don't know what I did. And I was the one she physically abused. I grew up with 16 brothers and sisters. But I was the only one she would hurt. Maybe that's because she knew I couldn't move or I couldn't do anything. But when I was in middle school, I would tell people, and she would threaten me and say if I told anyone that she would take me out of school. And in 2nd grade, she did. She took me out of school. And I remember just feeling like, oh my god, now I have to live with this woman 24/7. I didn't really go anywhere or do anything. I didn't really have any friends. And so your music, when I heard your music, I would just sing along to it. And I could relate to you in so many different ways. And I just loved your music. But the abuse continued and got more violent, and she was just physically and emotionally and mentally abusive. But your music just helped me get through so much. I would play your music all the time and just kind of sit there and listen and cry or whatever. And your music just helped me get through so many things. And then I just heard so much pain in your lyrics and your voice, and I could feel like I could relate to you in so many ways. I didn't know why you felt so sad, but I knew you did from your music. But it wasn't until you came out with the fact that you were cutting and you were bipolar, and when you went to rehab, we found all these things out, and you just made me love you that much more when you decided to go to rehab and really deal with things. And I just loved your story. I loved it. And I remember when Skyscraper first came out, I would sit up late and watch your video over and over and over, and I never got tired of it, ever. And it wasn't until I was 17 that I finally got out of my abusive situation with my adopted family, or my adopted mother, I should say. It was right around the time that Children's Services was again involved. They were involved so many times, and it wasn't until I was 17 that a detective finally took over my case. And I remember meeting her, and she said, I don't care about your mother, I don't care about your father, all I care about is you. And I never heard that before, and it just meant so much to me. And I remember the weeks before she came, I had cried myself to sleep, and cried myself to sleep so many times. Cried myself to sleep for 2 weeks, and I remember praying. I said, God, why am I here when all I want to be is dead? And I cannot tell you how many times I tried to commit suicide, but that night, I planned on really just going through with it. And that was the night before the detective showed up. The next day the detective showed up, and I knew this was fate. And I just listened to your song, your song Skyscraper, kind of helped me make my decision immediately, because you can't hurt me anymore. This woman, the person that was supposed to love me, she couldn't, in the way that a mother should love her daughter, and it hurt so much. But Skyscraper helped me make my decision, and when I left, it was the hardest thing I ever did. And it also helped me get through and cope with things, and I didn't know at the time, but I was depressed. I knew that I was depressed, but I didn't know exactly how serious it was. I'm diagnosed with severe depression and PTSD and anxiety disorder. So I know how much you're being diagnosed with bipolar disease and cutting, and your eating disorder really affects your life, because I have stuff that affects my life every day. 1 minute I'm good, the next minute I'm not, but your music just, it makes me want to be a better person. You as a person makes me want to be a better person. I've never felt that way about anyone in my entire life, and I just love you so much. I really, really hope you watch this video and realize how much I love you and would love to meet you. I really hope when you watch this video you'll be willing to come and meet me, because you're one of the people I want to meet before I die. And it'd be awesome just to meet you and get to know you for you, Demi, not Demi Lovato, the singer. So I just think you're amazing, and you inspire me in so many ways, and you help me get through so much. Your music was my coping mechanism. I didn't know how else to cope. So I really, really hope you're willing to meet me, and I love you so much, and keep doing what you're doing, because you're awesome. And I don't care what anybody says, I will forever be a Demi Lovato fan. Thank you.